Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where we come together to share and learn the tools that we all need to live the life that we want, the life that we deserve, to have the experiences of personal growth, personal mastery. I love reading your comments. I love seeing your engagement. I love seeing that something popped up and you so needed it. Or you're already living this experience in your life and the episode was a confirmation that either you need to change some behaviors or that you're on the right track. Please continue to comment. In this community, we want feedback. We want a dialogue. We want to know what you're thinking, what got triggered, what got released. So I'm so excited. Continue to comment. In this particular episode, we're talking about living in an optional state. Now, what does that mean? See, optional is when you have a goal. It doesn't mean that you don't care about anything. It means you have a goal. I really, really want to achieve that goal, unless it costs me too much money. I really, really want to make this relationship work, unless they get on my last nerves and I don't feel like editing my words. I really, really, really want to lose weight, unless it makes me do too many things I don't want to do in the gym, or say no to too many things in the refrigerator that I want to say yes to. It's living in that space where I would love, unless it takes me into discomfort. See, there's a distinction between optional and non-negotiable. See, optional, you can really want something. You normally want it for years. Think about it. I mean, just think about it right now while we're talking. What's that something that you've been wanting for a while? And yet, it really is still optional. It could be a strong, strong, strong desire, but it actually still is optional. Meaning you haven't moved every other option off the table and said, hold on, no matter what. You haven't gotten radical about it. You're still kind of polite about it. It's still optional. I have a question for you. What has optional cost you? What does optional cost you as it relates to that something? Whether it's your finances, I really want to save. I really want to grow my finance. I really want to buy another home. I really want to buy my first home. I really want to get out of debt. I really want to transform my financial life. But what is optional? Meaning I want it, but I haven't done enough in it. I've been willing to start and stop and start and stop and start and stop around your health and wellness, around your dreams, around writing a book, around the relationship. What has optional cost you? I know this might sting a little bit, Lisa. I'm really not happy you're doing this, but I love you. You know I love you, and we got to find out. Begin to think of what have you lived like it's optional. What are the areas of your life that, it's there, but it's not a non-negotiable yet? And what has that cost been for you? For me, let me just share with you. My health and wellness was important to me. But when I look back at it, it was optional. I mean, I went on diet after diet, probably about 19 different diets. I hired trainer after trainer, probably 9 different trainers. I had conversations about it, but I wasn't willing to be non-negotiable. I wasn't willing to be radical about it. I wasn't willing to be inconvenienced for my dreams about it. I just wanted change, but I wasn't willing to do everything all the time, full court press, consistently, long enough to make a difference. How do I know that? Because for over 19 years, I was over 200 pounds and I had multiple medical challenges. And when I became radical several years ago, I didn't ask, what do I have to do? I said, I'll do whatever. That was the difference between optional and non-negotiable. So what does optional look like for you? And what does non-negotiable look like for you? Again, in your relationship, what if you move to non-negotiable in your relationship? See, to me, non-negotiable in a relationship, whether it's with a sibling or whether it's with a child or whether it's with a parent or whether it's with a lover or a life partner, whether it's with a business associate, non-negotiable in a relationship looks like to me, I no longer have to get the last word. Non-negotiable looks like to me, I'm going to make sure every time I speak, I leave their dignity intact. Every time you speak, their dignity is left intact. Non-negotiable in a relationship to me looks like finding out what they need in a conversation, even a conversation of tension or resistance, you look past the words to what their need is. And then you do everything you can to fulfill that need. What does non-negotiable in your business look like? So if you don't know, I'm a business coach. I love training people, particularly entrepreneurs or parallelpreneurs, people who have a job and a dream. I love training individuals to turn their dream into their new reality, to turn their desire into a sustainable, scalable business. Why? Because I've done it for the last 20 plus years. So in your business, what does non-negotiable look like? Non-negotiable looks like I will become a student in my brilliance. Now I'm giving you a cheat sheet, by the way, of what non-negotiable looks like. You probably already know what optional looks like. I'm not going to regurgitate optional to you. We've all lived a life of optional. But what does non-negotiable look like? In business, it says, I'm going to invest in me. I'll be the first investor in my dream. It means taking the money that you earn from your job or from any other source of income and actually applying some of that money to your business. It means becoming a student. Even if you're a genius in one area, recognizing you need to become a student in another. It means hooking your caboose onto someone else's train, putting your seatbelt on, hydrating up and getting ready for a ride and not letting go. Your business means giving yourself patience. I see so many of my students who, after 2 years in business, if they haven't returned the investment in their business that they thought they should have by then, they're ready to quit. See, that's still optional. It doesn't matter if it's taking you a year or it's taking you, like me, 7, 8 years to turn the corner. Non-negotiable means I'm going to do it. Your finances. Being non-negotiable in your finances means I'll do whatever, whenever, wherever. I'll buy my freedom. I'll buy my future. I'll invest in myself. It means being willing to say no to the things that you really love so that you can recognize that money saved is money earned. It's being willing to invest in something that's going to give you a high ROI, even if that something is still a risk. Your finances and non-negotiable in your finances means learning more about money, having uncomfortable conversations about money. Non-negotiable in your family. Non-negotiable in your family. It means setting up new rituals, setting up new habits. It means falling on the sword and apologizing in the areas that you may need to apologize without defending and without justifying any of your behaviors. It means carving out family time. And no matter how important the call, how important the business, family time is family time. Non-negotiable in your family is also being willing to set healthy boundaries, helping to train your community of family the way that works for both you and them. And so the distance between optional and non-negotiable is vast and wide. And when you touch your non-negotiable, you don't wonder if you'll do it. You're just looking for when it will get done. And so I want to invite you to be specific about what you've treated as optional, because awareness is the first level of growth. So right now, I want you to just take note. Make a note right now. Oh, I treated this as if it were optional. I treated this. That doesn't mean you sat down on it. It doesn't mean it wasn't important to you. It just means you weren't at non-negotiable yet. For example, I made not having critical conversations as optional. I didn't want to have the critical conversations, so I made it optional, which affected the communication between myself and my partner. When I learned how to make conversations non-negotiable, now they've become a part of the culture of my relationship. And so this is just an opportunity for you to see the distinction between optional and non-negotiable, and to choose where you're ready to choose non-negotiable where you're ready to choose non-negotiable. Now remember, this show is not just a monologue. I'm not here to lecture to you. I'm your sister in delicious dialogue. I'm your sister in conversation, in greater awareness, and in greater communication. I would love to hear from you. What was the biggest aha for you in this conversation? In what area in your life? Just tell me, Lisa, I realize I've been optional in this area. I really have goals. I really want these things, and yet it's still been optional. And in what areas, please share with me, will you commit to move in the next 90 days? I'm going to touch my non-negotiable. I want to hear my next 90 non-negotiable. Say it just like that. Lisa, my next 90 non-negotiable is. Leave comments below and let me know. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and look out for more delicious dialogue and communication coming to you real soon in the future. After all, this is your home, and we are your tribe. And I know you hear this often when you look at my channel, but I want you to hear it over and over again. I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And each time I look into your eyes through this camera lens and say that I believe in you and that I love you, it's easily because I do. I cannot wait to see you real soon.